Now, as we talk about the second half getting underway, the Cavs will look to continue their dominating ways when they host the red-hot Knicks at 7 Eastern on ESPN. Knicks have won 10 of their last 12, including 3 straight, led by All-Star center Karl Anthony Towns, who has recorded 30-point and 10-rebound games in all 3 dubs. Cleveland also red-hot. They have won 9 of their last 10, including 5 straight. The Eastern Conference leading Cavs are 45-10 this season, their best record through 55 games in franchise history. Great to have Stephen A. Smith join us now live on SportsCenter.
Hold on. I'm interrupting SportsCenter right now.
Okay.
A 20-minute press conference over facial hair?
Isn't that ridiculous?
I mean, what a disgrace. I can't believe it. I'm a Yankee fan. You know I'm a diehard Yankee fan.
Yes.
I'm trying to keep my cool. You understand what I'm saying? But, I mean, damn, you ain't won a World Series title since 2009. You ain't been to one since then until last year. You got romped by the Dodgers. Yeah. And facial hair is the reason there was a press conference? Okay, I'll take the basketball question.
You got it off your chest, though. It feels good. It feels good. Yeah, I can't believe we talked about it on SportsCenter. All right, let's talk about your Knicks. They're playing really well, but there's another storyline to this team. They've got 3 of the league's top 5 players in terms of minutes played. Yep. For a deep playoff run, how sustainable is this workload for the likes of Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart going forward?
It's not sustainable, and that's one of the things that I've been complaining about for the longest time. You got Bridges leading the league in minutes. You got Josh Hart at number 3, at least as recently as a week ago, and, of course, Brunson is up there as well. We know that's the Achilles heel. That's the impediment to success for any Tom Thibodeau team. Usually he'll run his team into the ground. The man is an exceptional coach in terms of X's and O's, particularly on the defensive side of the ball, even though that hasn't been the case with the New York Knicks this season because their offense is prolific, so he's basically altered his reputation to some degree, showing that he can coach offense instead of defense. It would be nice to see both, by the way, but we'll take what we can get at this particular moment in time. In the end, however, when you think about Cleveland and when you think about Boston, the reigning defending NBA champion Boston Celtics, that are your roadblock for you to be playing guys these amount of minutes, I do find myself incredibly concerned because you're going to need fresh legs, and even that might not get it done against those 2 juggernauts within the Eastern Conference. So, of course, it's not sustainable, and I'm not happy about it.
All right, let's stay there now. Big test for them tonight in Cleveland. You just set the whole thing up. Despite the Cavs' dominance, though, it's the Celtics still heavily favored to come out of the East. Stephen A., which team, the Knicks or the Cavs, could pose a bigger challenge to the defending champs here for a deep run in the summer?
Without question, it's the Cleveland Cavaliers. As much as I hate saying that as a native New Yorker and New York Knicks fans, the truth is the truth. Cleveland Cavaliers, they've got a stud in Donovan Mitchell, who I desperately wanted to be a New York Knick. I didn't care what size deficiencies they may have had in the backcourt with him and Jalen Brunson. I would have loved for him to have been a New York Knick, but that did not happen. But Darius Garland has resurrected himself, had a subpar year last year. He's played really well this year. Mobley has upped his game as well, shooting better from the perimeter, averaging more points, being more assertive offensively. And, of course, the combination of him and Allen definitely helps. You got a new coach, and Kenny Atkinson has been doing an exceptional job. Make no mistake about it. And then the pickup of DeAndre Hunter from Atlanta, getting a 6'8" dude that can defend on the wing and can hit corner threes and can give you 18 to 19 a game. I don't think there's any question in anybody's mind. Their youth, their athleticism, their shot-making ability, a number 1 option in Donovan Mitchell that has proven in playoff time he can get it done, a new coaching system that you've infused there. I don't think there's any question that they're the number 1 threat to the Boston Celtics right now, and they're a legitimate, bona fide threat. The Cleveland Cavaliers could go to the finals. The Cleveland Cavaliers could win the championship. They're that good right now. They got a lot to prove come postseason time, but based on all the components that make up a successful basketball team, they have the ingredients.
They're favored by 8.5 points coming into tonight's game now. The second game of our doubleheader features the Rockets hosting the Timberwolves, 9:30 Eastern. How about Houston? They're sitting in the 4th spot in the West. Stephen A., how big of a threat can the Rockets be come playoff time?
But you asked me that about a month ago. I would have told you a big-time bona fide great. Whether it's Shagun, it's Jalen Green, this kid, Amen Thompson. I love this kid. I think he's a star in the making. This brother plays on both ends of the floor, both sides of the ball. I think he's exceptional. I'm a huge, huge fan, and we all know how I feel about Ime Udoka. I think he's one of the best coaches in basketball. But they nosedive a little bit over the last few weeks or so. Their youth coming into play, Dylan Brooks, Fred VanVleet, I expected to have more of an impact to prevent such a nosedive, but that hasn't happened thus far. They were were battling for a number 2 seed weeks ago. Now they're in the 4th slot and potentially sliding if they don't get their act together. So I think you still are a piece away to some degree. You still need a bona fide number 1 option to rely upon. It can't be a guy like Van Vliet who struggles to reach 5'11". You can't have that kind of stuff going on and depend on somebody like that, even though he's very talented and he's very good. I like Houston a lot. I just think the future is bright for them. The now is good. It's a vast improvement from last year, a huge turnaround from 2 years ago, but there's still a step behind the Oklahoma Cities, the Denvers of the world, even the Los Angeles Lakers when it really, really counts, a Dallas Mavericks team when Anthony Davis comes back, Gafford comes back, and they're a bit healthy. I think you have to look at Houston looking up at those teams when all is said and done.
All right, with the new Yankees hair policy, I expect to see you grow out a beard here for the spring and get ready for baseball, Stephen A.
Win.
Come on.
I want a World Series. You know what I'm saying? How about that?
Grow
Give me a
the beard in the World Series. All right, there we go.
Yeah, that's right.
That's your playoff beard. More from Stephen A. coming up. NBA Countdown, of course, all leading up to watching that guy, Darius Garland, and Stephen A. praising him. Cavs, Knicks, a great showdown less than an hour away here on ESPN. Jalen Brunson's 200th game in a Knicks uniform. The Knicks captain on pace to average 25-5 for the 2nd consecutive season. And looking to win tonight against that guy, another all-star, Donovan Mitchell, averaging 24 points per game this season. Lowest since he was with the Jazz in 2019, but they keep on winning those Cavs. So far, Ant-Man is living up to his superhero name. Anthony Edwards is 4th in the league in scoring with over 27 points per game and at 6 boards and 4 assists per night. And he does it with a certain flair and style. But so far, his Timberwolves have had an up-and-down season, but it's time now for a playoff push. Before tonight's second-half tip-off against the Rockets on ESPN, Edwards sat down with our Malika Andrews.
They got to be the most frustrating team in the NBA right now.
And what I do like in the midst of this trials and tribulations is Anthony Edwards' play.
Moving, Edwards drives in on Wiggins. Oh! Anthony Edwards! A serious rack attack!
Let's talk about the Timberwolves in one word. How would you describe it?
Roller coaster.
Why?
Because it's been up and down. We got hurt, but a lot of our guys stepped up like in a big way to help us win games, big time games. And so it's just been, roller coaster.
It seems like at times it's been a little bit more challenging than you're used to. What's that been like from your perspective?
It's been fun, like trying to figure it out, navigate through all of it. The way that they guard me is intriguing just because I've never seen it before. We're at an NBA level and they just put 2 on the bar everywhere that I go or 3 on the bar everywhere that I go. I got to get accustomed to it. That's all it is. Yeah, they ain't gonna go nowhere. My coach tell me that every day, Ant, the defense ain't going nowhere. Double teaming you, putting 2 people on you, trapping you, they ain't gonna stop doing it. The better you get, the worse it's gonna get. So I just gotta get accustomed to it and work around it.
You all didn't make any moves at the trade deadline. Your big move was last summer. You've had a little distance from it now. Karl Anthony Towns goes out, Julius Randle comes in, Dante DiVincenzo comes in. How do you reflect